Hello, my name is Morike Phineas, and today I'm going to talk about time management. Most are the best thing that you can have, a skill that you can have and help you in career advancement is the time management. When you have the time management, most of course you have, it will enable you to prioritize some tasks. It helps you in boost productivity and reduce stress. We talk about seeing these great people, seeing the great performer in organization, the institution, the company, they all prioritized in their task. And that's what made them become better every day. And that's what made them to be promoted. Also, we as young Gen Z or youth, mostly, we can able to manage our time well and even help us even get better promotions in a company, improve the value of the company, because that's what we are hired for. That's what made the company hire to improve that value and value into a company. Because if you are not adding any value into organization, the company or the institution, we have no importance on that institution. But when you add value to the time management, of course, through prioritizing your task, will able, because you're able to produce better results with less time. And today I'm going to say that mastering this time management, it helps even to manage that healthy work-life balance. You set your time to relate with your family, to relate with your friends, to relate to your co-workers. That helps you to maintain that healthy work-life. It helps you even pursue something you are passionate about. Through time management, it helps you to enable you to pursue something that you are passionate with. That's why in my last video I talk about understanding your why, so that you can be able to understand what you are passionate about. Let me take you through the why this time management is important. And I can say that time management on we as youth or the Gen Zs, because mostly affect us as Gen Z and youth. That's why it made me become more enthusiastic to bring this topic on time management, because I see how it affects mostly we as youth, and that make us even continue complaining about the issue of unemployment. But it's not the employment issue, but it's how we manage our time well. We see that why is this time management important? First of all, it helps us in boosting our productivity. And to talk improving your productivity, because when you prioritize on a certain task, it helps you to produce more results. That's how you hunt more and you maintain the organization, the company, the institution value. Because now if you hunt, you produce better results in organization, of course you'll be given a promotion, and even you will get better pay. You'll never complain. Let me take you through another tip of why this time management is important. Another tip is reduce stresses. When you prioritize on your task, it helps you avoiding that last time rush. Because when you rush on last time, of course, you will not be able to produce better results. And when you are not able to produce the better result, of course, it bring errors, mistakes. that now reduce that bring the mistrust with your boss and reduce of course your value. But to maintain that value, we as youth of young Gen Zs, we must prioritize and have that time management. Also, it helps us in work-life balance. When we set that time for family, friends, and so on and so forth. We say that it helps us build that better relationship, and that reduce the depression in the work. We say also through this we call the time management. It helps us to the goal achievement, because when you have set your time well and you prioritize your task well, it helps us to break that large goals into achievable steps, and through that making a better time management to help you move from one step to another, and when they are combined together, it helps you to produce better results. Let's go to how can you create this time management. And first of all, you must plan one day. You as youth most affect us because we does not even plan a day. And we can look at an example of great people. They plan their day earlier. What things that activities that they will carry tomorrow. They start planning them yesterday. That helps them avoid making mistakes, avoid making errors, avoid that time wastage. We say that it helps us to produce better results, of course. And also, you see that you set a smart goal. Set a smart goal. In my last video, talk about the steps to take through setting a smart goal. The goal must be achievable, the goal must be relevant, the goal must be measurable, the goal must be have that time bound, so that at least it keep encouraging, it keep you focused. You avoid that loss of focus, because most of us, when you don't have time bound, you look like you see that you have a lot of time. Therefore, to enable you not to waste a lot of time on your goal, you set that time bound. It help you keep you it will keep you focused. Also, I can talk you through another step is you create that you call avoid multitasking. When you are serving in a certain organization, or you are taking you have several roles, at least do one task at a time. That's how you are able to produce better results. And I can left you two inspiration of great people who have become great through this time management. Malala Yousafzai. Malala Yousafzai managed time well through managed education and activism, where he was advocating for Tanga's rights, but he managed it, and that made him win the Nobel Peace Prize. That if he did manage this time well, then he will not be able to win that prize, Nobel Prize. That's how he made it. We will look at another example of Elon Musk. Though he have multiple tasks, but he set a time and he have that time effectively. That helps them produce better results in each multiple task that he performed. I can say that we as youths, we need to have that time management. We need to engage and have that the time bound that we, after setting our goals, we need to have that time that I need to take through so that I can able to achieve my goals. We as youth must not be mostly fixed. Yes, you must not be fixed on one task or on one role, but you manage the time. You take to avoid that multitasking many things at one time. Because when you do many things at one time, of course, one might not produce a better result. Therefore, but when you take one task at a time, although you have several roles, it helps you produce better results. That's how you maintain the organization reputation. Because if you're not adding any value, if the productivity is low, of course, even the company will have less profits, therefore leads to less pay. And to avoid this less pay, less profits, that we must have that time management of we as employees in organization. As even we as youth, even in our jobs, must have that time management. We must create time for ourselves and how to handle several tasks that we carry in our business. And when we have this time management, of course, we'll be able to produce better results into our businesses, into our institutions, into our academic journeys, into and say into several activities that we engage. Because there is no activity that does not require time management. Every activity requires time management, of course. Thank you for watching. Share, follow, and subscribe. Asante.